In the history of American tennis, few players stood out like Andy Roddick. He wasn't just another Grand Slam champion. He was the last American ace to dominate the sport before the European takeover. Roddick ruled with one of the most fearsome weapons in tennis history, a blistering cannon of a serve that left opponents frozen. His power was unmatched, his attitude was fearless, and his presence electrified crowds worldwide. But beyond his serve, Roddick's journey was one of resilience, heartbreak, and an unrelenting fight against some of the greatest players of all time. This is the story of the last American ace who ruled tennis with a cannon serve. Before Andy Roddick, American tennis was a dominant force, led by legends like Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. But as their era came to a close, a new star was needed to carry the torch. That star was Andy Roddick. Born in Nebraska and raised in Texas, Roddick was introduced to tennis at an early age. From the start, it was clear he had something special, a booming serve that would later become the fastest in history. His aggressive play and natural athleticism made him a standout talent as a junior, and by the early 2000s he was already making waves on the professional tour. If there's one thing Andy Roddick is known for, it's his legendary serve. Clocked at an astonishing 155 miles per hour, it was the ultimate game changer, a shot that could single-handedly dismantle an opponent. Unlike other power servers, Roddick's technique was unique. He used an abbreviated motion, generating explosive force with minimal effort. This serve wasn't just about speed, it was strategic, accurate, and nearly impossible to read. Opponents often found themselves helpless, barely able to react before the ball was already past them. His serve became his signature, a weapon that allowed him to dominate service games and put pressure on even the best returners in the world. By 2003, Roddick had solidified himself as America's next big tennis star. His crowning achievement came at the US Open, where he bulldozed his way through the competition to win his first and only Grand Slam title. His performance was nothing short of spectacular, showcasing not just his serve but his relentless baseline power and improved net play. In the final, he dismantled Juan Carlos Ferrero in straight sets, becoming the first American man to win a major since Sampras. At just 21 years old, the future looked bright. Many believed he would go on to dominate the sport for years to come. But then, an unstoppable force changed everything. Andy Roddick's career coincided with the rise of Roger Federer, a player who would go on to become one of the greatest in history. No one felt Federer's dominance more than Roddick. Time and time again, Roddick found himself on the losing end of some of the most heartbreaking matches in Grand Slam finals. The most crushing defeat came in the 2009 Wimbledon final, where Roddick played the match of his life, only to fall in an epic 5-set battle, 16-14 in the final set. Despite the losses, Roddick never backed down. He pushed Federer to his limits and in doing so earned the respect of fans and players alike. While their rivalry was one-sided in terms of wins, it was one of the defining stories of Roddick's career. While his serve was his biggest weapon, Roddick was far from a one-dimensional player. Over the years, he worked tirelessly to refine his game, improving his footwork, volleying, and defensive skills. Under the guidance of coaches like Brad Gilbert and Larry Stefanski, he became a more complete player. His ability to adapt and evolve kept him at the top for over a decade. He was a fighter, a competitor who never gave less than 100%, and his tenacity made him one of the toughest opponents on tour. In 2012, after years of battling injuries and a changing tennis landscape, Roddick announced his retirement at the US Open. True to his character, he went out on his own terms, giving an emotional farewell speech in front of a packed Arthur Ashe Stadium. The last great American male champion had left the stage, marking the end of an era. His departure signified more than just the retirement of a player. It was the closing chapter of American men's dominance in tennis. Since then, no American male has won a Grand Slam title. Though he may not have won as many titles as Federer, Nadal, or Djokovic, Andy Roddick's impact on tennis remains undeniable. He was a fighter, a showman, and a champion who gave everything to the sport. His rivalry with Federer pushed the game forward, and his dedication inspired countless young players. Even today, his legacy lives on through the Andy Roddick Foundation, which helps underprivileged children through education and sports programs. Andy Roddick was more than just a player with a big serve. He was the last American ace to rule the tennis world. His career was a testament to hard work, resilience, and passion for the sport. While he may have been overshadowed by tennis's greatest generation, his impact will never be forgotten. He carried the hopes of American tennis on his shoulders and delivered moments of brilliance that will be remembered forever. Roddick may have hung up his racket, but his cannon serve and fiery spirit will always be part of tennis history. And with that, we ask, will we ever see another American champion rise to dominate the game again? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest moments in sports history.